Hi, I'm Decadent Jaime Gabriel Sep Hamito here with you. I'm going to make some of my reflections, understanding about the Marpol Annex 1, Marpol Annex 2, and Marpol Annex 3, and the Marpol Annex 4. So here it is, the Annex 1. Oil tankers transport some 2,900 million tons of crude oil and oil products every year around the world by the sea. Most of the time, oil is transported quietly and safely. Measures introduced by IMO have helped ensure that the majority of oil tankers are safely built and operated and are constructed to reduce the amount of oil spilled in the event of an accident. The operational and construction regulations introduced by Marpol, which entered into force in 1983, have been a success with statistics from reputable industry and independent bodies showing that these regulations, along with the other safety-related regulations such as the introduction of mandatory traffic separation schemes and international standards for seafarers training, have been instrumental in the continuous decline of accidental pollution that has been taking place over the last of 30 years. The Marpol Convention in 1983, a number of radical new concepts such as a requirement for the new oil tankers to be fitted well segregated in the ballast tanks, so as to obviate the need to carry the ballast water in cargo tanks. So that's all about the Annex 2, Annex 1. So here's my Annex 2. The Marpol Annex 2 is a regulation for the control pollution by NLS or the noxious liquid substances in bulk sets out the pollution categorization system for noxious and liquid substances. The Marpol Annex 2, it entered into force in April 6, 1987. So here's the four categories in the Annex 2. They are the Category X. The Category X is a noxious liquid substances which, if discharged into the sea from a tank, cleaning or deballasting operations that are deemed to present a major hazard to either marine resources or human health, and therefore justify the prohibition of the discharge into the marine environment. Category Y. The Category Y is a noxious liquid substances which, if they discharge into the sea from tank cleaning or deballasting operations, are deemed to present a hazard to either marine resources or human health that can cause harm to amenities. The Category Z. The Category Z is a noxious liquid substance which, if discharged into the sea from tank cleaning or deballasting operations, are deemed to present a minor hazard to either marine resources or human health, and therefore justify less entrenchment restrictions. And also the other substances, or the OS. OS is a substance which have been evaluated and found to fall outside Category X, Y, or Z because they are considered to present no harm to marine resources, human health, and amenities, or other legitimate uses of the sea when discharged into the sea from tank cleaning of deballasting operations. The discharge standards are these: the ship must proceed speed at least 70 knots or 4 knots. The discharge must be below the waterline of the ship and the less than 12 nautical mile in the nearest land, and the depth water must be above 25. Chemical tankers are also certified to carry substance X, Y, and Z shall have underwater discharge outlet. And the Marpol Annex 3 also sets out of 8 regulation for the prevention of pollution by harmful substances in package form and includes general requirements for the issuing of detailed standards on packing, marking, labeling, documentation, stowage, quantity limitations, exceptions, and notifications for the preventing pollution by harmful substances. For the purpose of Annex 3, harmful substances are those identified as the marine pollutants in the IMDG code. And the IMDG code has 9 classes. Then the class 1 is the explosive, the class 1 is the flammable, the class 2 is the gases, and the class 3 is the flammable liquid, the class 4 is the flammable solids, the class 5 is the oxidizing substances, class 6 is toxic and infectious substances, class 7 is radioactive material, and the class 8 is corrosive material, class 9 is the miscellaneous substances or also carries a marine pollutant. The Annex 4. In the Annex 4, there contains set of regulations regarding discharge of the sewage into the sea from ships, including regulations regarding the ship's equipment and systems for the control sewage discharge, the provision of port and reception facilities for sewage, and requirements for survey and certification. It is generally considered that on the high seas, the oceans are capable of assimilating and dealing with raw sewage through natural bacterial action. Therefore, the regulations in the sewage through natural bacterial action. Therefore, the regulations in the Annex 4 of Marpol prohibit the discharge of sewage into the sea within the specified distance on the nearest land, unless otherwise provided. The Annex entered into force on the 27th September 2003. A revised Annex 4 was adopted in April 1, 2004, and it entered into force on August 1st, 2005. Currently, the Baltic Sea area is the only special area of the Annex 4 in accordance with the resolution of MEPC 275. The discharge requirements for special areas in Regulation 11.3 of Marpol Annex 4 for the Baltic Sea special area in part of Russia. So that is all of my reflection about Marpol 1, Marpol 2, Marpol Annex 3, and Marpol Annex 4. Thank you, sir.